Well, then who the hell else are you talking to? Talking to me? Well, I'm the only one here.
The anti-hero blurs the line between good and bad. Their motivations are generally directed inwards, and thus, they can't be relied upon to make the tough choices our conventional hero generally can. This in turn can make them more grounded, relatable characters. Despite their often selfish motivations, we still want them to succeed.
A guy opens his door and gets shot and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.
We've seen many anti-heroes in pretty much every storytelling medium, from books to movies to TV to games. Some make it hard for us to root for them. Some are more charismatic than others. Some start off as heroes and get lost along the way, whereas others may find something within themselves that pushes them down the hero's path. Despite all of the different types of anti-heroes, they all share a common trait. They're basically entertaining as hell to follow. We're seeing more and more anti-heroes as the lead characters in our games, but the one that stands out as the best example of this trend is Joel from The Last of Us. No other video game character has had the same depth, nuance, complexity, and emotional range. For a game about zombies that are trying to rip your face off, The Last of Us has a tremendous amount of subtext, which is a testament to the writing and the amount of development of each of the characters. To fully understand Joel as a character, we have to delve deep into the journey that takes place throughout the main game, as well as look at the events that led him to become the man that he is.
What is it?
My leg hurts.
How bad?
Pretty bad.
We're gonna need to run.
Before we begin, be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and click on the links in the description to vote on upcoming content. So, what did we know about Joel before the outbreak? Not much. We do know that he's in a bad spot financially, and there's no wife in the picture. His daughter, Sarah, and his brother Tommy seem to be the only immediate family members in his life. And right from the get-go, when the outbreak happens, Joel is forced to kill his neighbor to protect Sarah. There's no dwelling on it either. We learn early that Joel is a man that does what he has to when it comes to protecting the people he cares about. There's no room for remorse.
You shot him.
Sarah.
I saw him this morning.
Listen to me. There is something bad going on. We have got to get out of here. Do you understand me?
20 years pass after the night Joel loses his daughter, loses his world. Sarah was the main reason that he was alive, so without her, what's left? This transforms Joel into the grizzled survivor we meet him as.
I'm coming.
As a smuggler, Joel is used to transporting cargo through dangerous areas. So when he meets Ellie, that's all she is to him. Cargo, just a job, albeit kind of an annoying one, as he's less than thrilled about the babysitting. She's a liability, both to him and his partner Tess. Joel couldn't care less that there's a chance to save humanity here. It's not worth the risk to him or Tess's life. Due to his partnership with Tess, however, he decides to go along with it. Well, that and the promise of the weapons owed to him. When he finds out that Ellie has a bite mark, he'd much rather leave her behind, despite the fact that she's just a little girl, and could potentially restore the world to what it once was. But, you know, even if she couldn't bring Sarah back.
You stop bullshitting.
It's 3 weeks. I swear. Why would she set you up?
Joel is eventually forced to continue his mission without Tess. So here we have Joel, reluctant to go on the journeying to save mankind, which is in and of itself the opposite of what a hero would do. We can see him in pain, dealing with loss. We may not agree with his unwillingness to push on, but we definitely understand why.
Hey, look, about Tess. I don't even know what
Here's how this thing's gonna play out. You don't bring up Tess. Ever.
He's a character who bottles up his emotions, and that usually doesn't end well. Talking about it and reflecting on it makes it real for him, and in his mind there's no reason to dwell. He has to keep on moving forward. There are many occasions where people ask about his past or try to give him a relic of it, and he shrugs it off or evades the question.
I'm good.
You sure?
I've said I'm good.
While we don't know a whole lot about what happened in the 20 years since the start of the outbreak, we do get a bit of insight into what it took for Joel to survive, as well as what it took to make sure his younger brother survived too. He ambushed innocent people, stealing and killing to get by, joining up with the wrong sort. This desensitized him to the violence and bloodshed of the new world, knowing only one thing: survival. Joel was at one point not unlike the hunters we encounter throughout the game.
How did you know
Know what?
about the ambush?
I've been on both sides.
Joel and Ellie meet another pair of characters, Sam and Henry, and when they eventually split up, Sam and Henry come back for Joel and Ellie when they need saving. Through their dialogue, we realize that Joel probably wouldn't have done the same for them, solidifying that he isn't the selfless hero we come to expect from most video games we play. No, he's a man on a mission, and if something jeopardizes that or puts him in danger, then it's not worth the risk.
If it was the other way around, would you have come back for us? I saved you.
We do, however, start to notice a gradual change in Joel. He becomes more open to Ellie, and he can't help but begin to grow attached to her. While this relationship is endearing and sweet, we find out later that this is going to create major complications down the road. One of the major turning points in Joel is when he realizes not just how much Ellie means to him, but also when he decides that that is the worst possible thing that can happen to him. When Ellie realizes that Joel is trying to send her off to his brother, we discover that Joel is afraid of losing Ellie and that he's mad at himself for feeling that way. An array of different emotions run through him. He's partially mad at Ellie for bringing up Sarah, thinking that she's trying to take her place, but mainly he feels guilt that he's connecting and caring for another young girl when his real daughter is dead. Of course, Joel would never admit that, but that's just Joel.
Everyone I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone except for you.
Joel is also finding something to fight for, and when he accepts that Ellie is that, his guard is let down, and he accepts that pushing her away is unhealthy for both. Acknowledging this, however, one must consider the negatives to the relationship. Joel is now committed to protecting Ellie. He's feeling something that he hasn't felt in a long time, and this will hinder his ability to do what is right in the overall grand scheme of things, which we'll find out soon enough. Joel's been through a lot. Caring for Ellie is now the only thing keeping him going. She's come to represent the humanity in him, and when she's in danger, the humanity is abandoned in favor of determined rage. It's here that the Joel from the early Outbreak days comes out. We see him torture men to get what he wants. We see him ruthlessly kill with no hint of remorse to get Ellie back, reminding us that Joel won't or can't change. He's just been through too much. This also really hammers the point into gamers of just how much he cares for Ellie. We see that there's a clear, understandable motivation for the brutality.
It's me! It's me! It's me! Look! It's me.
As they near the Fireflies, Joel thinks about the future. He thinks about all the different things he's gonna do with Ellie. Teach her how to swim, how to play guitar, how he's gonna bring her up. So, when Joel and Ellie finally reach their destination, and a hard truth is given to him by Marlene, we see that the conventional hero begins to arise, but not really in Joel. We see it in Marlene. Marlene is the hero in the story. Despite her connection with Ellie, she's still willing to do what is right for the greater good. Her feelings are secondary, whereas Joel's feelings are all that matters to him. Joel is not as strong as Marlene. He did not go through with everything just to lose Ellie, and that's for damn sure. And he never wanted to feel this way in the first place. He tried as hard as he could to resist caring for her, and when he finally gives in, they want her to take it away. Save the world? Why should he? He doesn't owe the world a damn thing. The only thing he cares about now is protecting Ellie. It's the one thing that's given him real purpose since he lost Sarah.
Where's the operating room? I ain't got time for this. Where?
It's a shock when Joel murders Marlene and the rest of the good guys who are just trying to save humanity for his own selfish reasons. He's so desperate to shield himself from loss that he jeopardized basically the human race. Despite the consequences, gamers worldwide actually rooted for Joel while this was happening, which is a true testament to the character and his unconventional emotional journey.
It ain't for you to decide.
It's what she'd want.
Joel is one of the most humanized and believable characters in all of gaming, and a big part of what made him so incredible was Troy Baker's exceptional voice acting and mocap performance. There's an incredible amount of depth and pathos that he brought to the role, and just the subtle shift of vocal tone or stance can signify a whole lot about what's going on in his head.
Turns out there's a whole lot more like you, Ellie. People that are immune. There's dozens, actually. Ain't done him a damn bit of good, neither.
So, if all of this wasn't enough to convince you of Joel's anti-hero-ness, the emotional final moment of the game's story probably seals the deal. The final shot of The Last of Us is Joel looking at the one person he cares about right in the eyes and lying to her face. I mean, at this point, how could we not name Joel the greatest video game anti-hero of all time?
I swear.
Thanks for watching Mojo Plays. Be sure to subscribe and click on the link in the description below to check out our suggestion page and vote on what content you'd like to see us cover next.